You're gonna tell me? You're gonna tell me how to do the list?
Eat a burger.
Eat a
and
burger.
Put
Put
it to rest.
Do it.
Now we know. Daddy's at the law firm until 8 hours, and Davey's watching XXX down in the fucking basement.
Get that out of my face. But you punch the burger?
I'm gonna throw it.
Did you go to therapy?
Yes.
Yeah, we changed it. We're back up.
Come on.
You got a lot of Bobby Knight in you.
You got a lot of Bobby Knight. We've seen him 2 places.
All right, healthy debate, 12-19, ditching the tie once again. It's the only second, Phil the historian on this show, second show without a tie ever. It's because we went Christmas shirt. A lot of people saying, oh, where's it from? We're not going to do that until they start advertising. But what I will say is the little hints, little Nero's, the pizza, the delivery, the statue, Home Alone. Home Alone 1, by the way, which is the superior of all the Home Alones.
Yeah.
Home Alone 2 good, New York stuff cool, a lot of good scenes, but 1 is also, who leaves their kid twice, 2 years in a row? Come on.
Yeah, but that was part of the movie. He escaped almost. Got mixed up. I will say,
They did a good job of making it believable, both of them.
For sure. Question for you though.
Sure.
As a New Yorker, do you find more like pleasure in watching the second one? I can admit that the first one's better, and I think it's funnier.
No, I watched 1 on repeat, and 2 is one of those, all right, it's on. I didn't go out of my way to like watch 2.
Yeah, I think.
I think I was old enough to see 2 in theaters at that point, though. So,
yeah.
And the Talk Boy almost makes 2 better than 1. That was a sick toy. I had that.
I just don't.
Never worked, by the way.
I just don't love that the Harry and Marv tried to like kill him in the second one. It made no sense for them to see him and want to re-engage with him. Like in the first one, they're bumbling idiots and they want obviously to rob the house. In the second one, they become like spiteful murderers. Almost.
Yes.
And on this program, like we would never hold a grudge or a spite.
Nope,
Never.
absolutely.
Yeah, like, we just
no.
let things go.
It's not what we do. So Harry and Marv, learn from your mistakes. 3 big ones. Clearly something wrong with the Eagles. We're running away. I don't want to say running away with the NFC because you had San Francisco, but had that home field. This is a win for the Cowboys. And I know everybody keeps saying Cowboys can't do it. I think the way that the Eagles are playing, and even as bad as the Giants are, do not be surprised if the Giants steal one of these 3. There's no way. And I do think the Cowboys are good enough to win out. Will they? I don't know. But all they have to do is tie, Phil. So right now they have a tied record, correct? Yeah. So all they got to do is the Cowboys can go 2-1. The Eagles have to go 3-0. I think this was a win for the Cowboys, which is crazy because they just got their shit kicked in by the Bills. I think the Giants are going to be pesky. I think there's nothing more to the DeVito legacy than stealing it from the Eagles, ruining that party. I think he'll be in on that. I could foresee problems with that big time. The other one, that bowl game yesterday, holy shit, what a way to kick off. I know we had games on Saturday, but, man, what a way to kick off Christmas week with that comeback. Western Kentucky has now been involved, if you ask me, in the two craziest bowl games in the last 15, 20 years, maybe, or without obviously Boise, Oklahoma. The Clemson, Ohio State game was a little wacky. Obviously last year, those are probably better. But I'm talking gambling-wise, Western Kentucky now the GOAT. 1 and 2. GOAT.
For sure.
GOAT. And 2-0 in them. Crazy. No, yeah, 2-0 in them crazily. 1 blew a lead, 1 came back on a lead, which makes it even better. If they were just blowing the leads, they're the blown lead team. They do a little of both. It just becomes chaos. And then we were looking for a third one. We're like, nothing really crazy. Like, what are we looking at? Dukes was like, hey, float this by you. 12-23, the way the weekend is set up. I also think Thursday is a big one, too. If your office is a mail-in Friday or you're working from home. So I'm going to say 12-21 is a big one. But I think 12-23, Saturday night, could be an all-time bar night.
I think in general, 12-23, when you get, at least I've
I agree, too.
I've had the pleasure of having off on the 23rd and 24th always. And even in college, the 23rd, it's, you don't, Big Wednesday, I love it. I know we're a Big Wednesday program, but I started breaking it down for some people. You don't get everyone going to the bars. You get your friend group, your tight-knit girls, guys, the guys that want to go out that you get like familiar seeing with, the grade above, the grade below. I think 12-23 is a superior.
You also
night.
have absolutely nothing to do on Christmas Eve.
Nothing.
Zero.
I love how you're still saying the grade above and below.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
25.
I mean, it's crazy. No matter what you are, though, if you're 32, you know, like I sometimes refer to like when I think I'm still like a sophomore. I'm like, oh yeah, they were seniors.
Right. Yeah.
So,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
Older kids.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
older
older
kids.
kids, the
It's
older
like
kids.
it only exists within your town.
Yeah,
Like the
so
grade older
I
above.
think the way it's set up, I actually think it's the fact that it's a Saturday night means everybody's gonna go out. So now I'm worried that the bars will be a little crowded. I say worried like I'm actually gonna fucking go. I'm not going, but I'll be on my couch. But I think it's a little bit better. Excuse me, Dukes. If what's today? Wednesday?
Yeah, 19.
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Tuesday?
Fuck.
I actually think it would be better if Christmas was on a Friday. Christmas
Yes.
Eve the 24th, you work till Wednesday. It's a half day. Or if your boss is a scumbag, he makes you work the whole day. And then you're like, the minute I get out of here, I'm fucking down in high noons. So,
Saturday could be one of the worst 23rds of all time. Worst or best? You know what I'm saying?
Why?
Packed wise.
yeah, could be packed. I think middle of the week is a little bit better. Because
I
now
agree.
it's like, all right, I worked my, whatever, and you go. So, a little bit better in the week, but Saturday night, big time. It's going to be a big time night.
I got a question for you. And second off, when you made a great point about Christmas Eve, on Thanksgiving you have to wake up at what, 10, 11 to like help out the family, get the
Probably,
house.
yeah.
Yeah, maybe even
a little bit earlier,
Yeah.
technically, yeah.
Christmas Eve, I feel like nobody has plans till like 4, 5. At least, yeah, even later. All right.
Christmas Eve, we don't have people over till like 6 o'clock or so.
Right. I've heard of family parties during the day.
It's crazy.
Giving out gifts to the little cousins. I was Santa at one of those parties, but that's usually like middle of the afternoon. So yeah, you're right. And also, like, you're a grown man. How long does it take you to really get ready, even on Christmas Eve?
Men. Women take, I have 3 sisters. They take hours. I have to get ready first so I can greet the guests. It's insane.
If you drove by my house and I was sitting in the car, scrolling my phone, you'd be like, "Oh, you waiting? Waiting again?" Be like, yeah, that's the better place to wait. Because why am I gonna sit back on the couch and get comfortable? I'd rather just sit in the car.
I always go on ice duty, make sure that like I get like the last. I just take my sweet ass time. Always get the ice on Christmas Eve.
Okay.
Do you go out on Christmas Eve or did you in your heyday?
No, Christmas night though
Really?
is a banger on Staten Island.
Wow.
Shout out to LeConte brothers, Danny boys. Shout out Mike Egan at afternoons. Christmas night, and my mother would get mad. It'd be like 10 o'clock. You got the money from your gift cards and wallet, whatever.
Yeah.
You go out and you blow it all on Christmas night. My mother's like, "Where you going?" Like Christmas night. She's like, "That's for people with no families going out Christmas." It's like, nah, Ma, you got. I was out till 5 a.m. one night, Christmas night. Me and my younger brother, they basically cut a deal on the strip of bars that one was gonna stay late, and that was the one. He just didn't close. Like 5 a.m. My brother's like, "Yo, we gotta get out of here." I'm like, "This is sick. Dude.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
still banging. Like, what the fuck am I doing tomorrow?" So, yeah, Christmas night was a banger.
Christmas Eve too. I like Christmas Eve going out.
Nah, that's with family. That's when I eat. I put on a clinic.
Yeah, like I go out to I go out at like 11:30, 12.
So what's the number? Like what should I be what number should I try to hit for clams?
I think
Because I also don't want to ruin the main course. But like, should I
Sub
a
20. I think sub 20.
So do a 16 pack? You think I could
Yeah.
try to do 16?
I mean, what do you eat
and
on
you'd be
Christmas?
impressed?
What do you-
Everything.
What do you guys get? Italian?
On Christmas Day?
Christmas
It's
Eve. When do you have baked clams?
Christmas Eve.
Okay, so what are you gonna eat Christmas Eve? Same shit you always have.
Baked clams, the shrimp, the antipasto appetizer, fresh mutts, and then it's usually an assortment of fried diavolo, like crab legs, lobster tails. The mussels and shrimp are in there as well.
Stuff you've had before.
100%.
Just go for the record.
No,
you can
it's
only-
different. No, the fried diavolo is a different. You do not ruin yourself for the main course.
Okay.
You do not.
I'm saying you can.
I think I'm gonna pack away 16.
I say that's pretty soft.
You think that's soft?
I think 25 would be.
It's also access to go get them. Like it's. I mean,
part of the thing of like part of the thing about being the baked clams guy and being like I'm gonna house them is like you're gonna come across like an asshole.
all right. So then why don't we do this? Maybe I don't do it Christmas Eve. First show back, we get a.
We should do a clam challenge.
We get a tray of baked clams.
Yes. I think we should
here.
incorporate some more challenges. I think.
A tray of baked clams in here, and as we're doing it, we just keep eating.
Rico versus food, just a tray of baked clams
It won't even
in
be,
an hour.
I don't know if I can put away a whole tray, but Large also says he can do it.
You guys should
So like
do
maybe
that.
we just have an alternate cam of him in the corner just slamming.
You versus large head-to-head.
No, I don't think I could beat him head to head, but I think I'll get close. And I gotta be if I'm really hungry, I starve up. So, but yeah, those are the big three. That was kind of a long first quarter. Let's go. Oh, by the way, Will Compton moving to tomorrow. No show Thursday or Friday. Will Compton moved to tomorrow. He's got some stuff going on. Obviously, he might just be dominating my life again, which is the whole theme.
Yeah, it could be.
But we'll touch on him with his NFL teams, which seem to have grabbed the internet. And then we'll dive into that. Dukes, load him up, second quarter. Go ahead.
Gary, Queens.
Gary.
Gary.
Gary, you good? We lost him? Yeah, now I got you. Go ahead.
Gary.
Gary, call back. Call him back.
R.I.P. Gary.
I can imitate that Gary call. Hey, Rico, why are you so down on the Johnny so far?
He down the Johnnies. I like it. Dukes, give me another one.
Mike, Jersey.
What's up?
Rico?
What's up?
Hello?
Yeah. Are we down on the calls?
Is it plugged in?
Mike.
I can't hear anything.
Mike, can you hear us?
I think he might be fucking with us. Mike, can you hear me?
Mike, talk to me. Yeah, what's going on?
Is he good?
Relay it remotely.
What about Christmas vacation?
Is this how we're doing it? Like
I
messenger?
think we got to do telephone.
No way. No way.
Say what you got to say about Christmas vacation.
Should I just go back
Put
there?
your headphone up to the mic. Mike, say it loud.
No, there's no chance.
You gotta relay.
All right, we're reversing it then. Is that how the calls are done?
We can
You come
reverse-
in and, yeah.
You want to get Phil to translate it?
No, I'm going in there with the headset. You can hear him on the headset?
Yeah, come in here.
But then nobody can hear it regardless, right?
You gotta just basically say it back verbatim.
Steve, what happened, pal? Oh,
Oh,
Fitz, you're on the air.
Fitz?
Oh, dude, Christmas vacation is the best, man. That wasn't my
I can
topic,
definitely
but
hear him.
it definitely is one of those days of the year where you can just, if you don't have a job and you're in college, you can sit back, play some video games, watch some bowl games. Old Dominion lost.
Yep.
Terrible.
I'll give
But,
you.
no,
yeah. All right. So
pretty
so
decent.
so
I
I'll
think that's a good
I'll
description.
double. Can you hear me?
Can you hear Rico?
I think we're on we have like a one-way.
Yeah, it's Fitz. I can't hear you guys though.
Hold on. You can't hear me?
I can only hear you guys through the YouTube on my
Oh,
phone.
jeez. All right. Looks like a short show today.
It's like one-way glass or two-way mirror.
I can only hear you fellas through my YouTube
All right.
on my
So
phone.
I mean, I'll say this. I think on college break, there's nothing better than when people actually go back. So let's say your finals end on like 12-9 or 12-10, right? That 2 weeks before Christmas when you're just sitting in the house and everybody leaves and you're home alone is fucking awesome. Also around January, don't forget you go back around Martin Luther King Day. The holidays are over. You're just sitting there like a bum in January. You got nothing to do, house to yourself, sleeping all day. That is a home run. Can you hear me now?
Fitzy.
I mean, I see the chat coming at us. I mean, this is what happens when we have a minute delay now.
Right.
We have to sacrifice some things.
Right. And yeah, that minute delay, I think is a good, I know is a good idea. Okay.
Yeah.
We need to have the dump bug. Should we put someone through to check to see if this is working for real?
Caden, Fort Worth. Caden.
Rico.
What's up?
Rico.
What's up?
How's it going, man? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. Can you hear me? Is the real question.
I can hear you.
Okay, what's going
All
on?
right.
All right.
Good job, guys.
What's up?
So I wanted to call and kind of circle back on some flight deplaning etiquette. So last week I flew from Dallas-Fort Worth to Augusta, Georgia,
Okay.
and I was on one of those regional jets, had about 13 rows, 14. I mean, I guess probably like between 15 and 20 rows. There's not a lot of people on there. One seat on one side, two seats on the other side. I'm on the side with two seats sitting on the aisle. Sitting toward the back of the plane, Augusta has two gates. There's no connections. Nobody's flying out of there going somewhere else. So naturally, I listen to this show every single day. Some old bag and her husband stand up. They're in the last row and start walking toward the front of the plane. So naturally, I look up at him and I just said, "Hey, is your time way more important than everyone else's on this flight?"
Like it.
And she looked at me and she goes, "We've been traveling since 5 a.m. We're just ready to get off this plane." And I said, "Yeah, you and every single,
right, of course,
everybody else on this flight. Like, what are you thinking?" She's like, "I can't believe you have the nerve to say something to me." And I just said, "Everybody loves a healthy debate." And the look on this broad face, everyone around me just started clapping. They were like, "Hell yeah, get this bitch."
Yeah.
And she just looked at me. She was so pissed, and her husband, he had nothing to say. He had nothing to say. He knew she was wrong.
Yep.
They knew they were wrong.
Yep.
And I thought of this show. I've been meaning to call in.
All right.
But yeah, this old bag, totally in the wrong. Merry Christmas,
so
Rico.
stay on for a second. Dukes, keep them on.
Yes, sir.
So as the chairman of ethics on planes, I might have to back up a little bit. Jet ski, think I might lose the glass behind the guys behind the glass here real quick. We had an interesting encounter yesterday. Woman comes flying up the plane, trying to get off. By the way, American Airlines can go fuck themselves. Both ways getting on the two connecting flights, or it was going there and coming home. They did both times. They're like, "Sir, you got to check your bag." I walk on the plane, 6 or 7 empty fucking rows of overheads, 6 or 7 empty bins. So I still go to the lady. I'm like, "What's the deal?" Like, "Oh, well, we don't communicate with that." Why don't you communicate with them? Sure, it seems like you should. Absolute fucking disaster. And then coming back, same thing. Bullshit. So anyway, on the way home, this lady goes to get off. And I look and I go, I put my foot out and like her bag was there or something. She's like, "Oh, you don't have to step on the bag." I'm like, "No, lady, just to let you know, we go before you." So she's like, "Okay." I'm like, I'm just letting you know, you don't go. We go. So now it's the full row to the side. I do the same thing. I go ahead. They were like, they didn't want any action. They were like, no, it's okay. It's okay. So they kind of pussied out. I let the 2 ladies next to me go. And she's like, "Oh, I actually got to get my bag." I said, "It's okay, ma'am. Around the holidays, I have nothing more that would make me glad than to help a woman with a bag. That's how I was raised, right? That's how we all should be raised." So I'm like chirping. My buddy's like 3 rows back. He starts hearing this. We get off. I'm waiting for her to come up. She never comes up. So he comes up. I go, "What, did you hear that interaction?" He's like, "Yeah, I kind of heard that." He's like, "Which lady was it?" I was like, "Oh, this one." I described whatever. He's like, "They're in wheelchairs."
Oh, my God.
Now, healthy debate. If you're racing up the aisle, did you need the wheelchair?
It's tough because also I feel like the airport is the place where like you can just request a wheelchair and everyone gets one.
Agreed.
I don't know though.
They're racing up the thing. 4 rows back, 5 rows back. Did they think they were going to run out of wheelchairs?
How fluid was the movement when she wasn't in the wheelchair?
Like fucking Michael Phelps in a backstroke.
It's tough because optically bad to, not be supportive of the wheelchair necessarily.
I also couldn't have known. If you're an able-bodied
to be stealing
yeah,
wheelchair
if you're an able-bodied person cutting up on me, so we had an interaction. So I might have to back down a little bit based off of that. My approval rating in the streets.
If you're rushing off the plane, you don't get a wheelchair.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't know.
I was trying to
And
tell you.
also, American did lose my golf clubs too.
They
so
suck, dude. They suck.
Delta lost my bag on the plane coming back from the college football show. I got on the plane. They didn't tell me to check the bag. Then when I got there, they're like, "No, you have to check it." I was like, "Well, I'm already on the plane. What do I do?" They didn't give me a ticket. They took my bag. The bag had my mix board because I DJ'd the fucking event. Lost the bag. They lost all the clothes. Now I got to file a claim. I'm gonna run the bag up on them because it's a $1,500 mix board. But ridiculous.
when that I don't. Where do those bags? Where do you think those bags eventually show up?
I don't know. I was told that they rerouted my bag from Boston to Detroit for whatever reason, but the lady just took it physically away from me on the plane. The plane just took off. I never got a tag.
No, you can't do that.
And I told her there's electronics on it, so I think they just stole the electronics.
Interesting.
I don't know.
Shady.
Interesting.
I was trying to tell you this, but Rico, there were some people in the cave last night during the stream that said you shouldn't be the airplane police because after you don't return carts, that you should have no say in people.
I do return carts. If you check the newest video,
I do. I have your back.
I will be returning. All right, give me one more.
Gary, Queens.
Gary.
Rico, you got me?
Yeah, now I do. Go ahead.
All right, fine. I can hear you. Did Holiday Parlay get greenlit yet?
Did the all what?
Sorry,
Holiday Parlay, my movie.
Oh no, it didn't get greenlit yet. It didn't get green. We gotta script it. We gotta sell it. But yeah, you'll get an EP credit, Gary. We'll get you on there.
All right, thank you. Healthy debate, tough trip for you this weekend, huh?
Real tough. Yeah, Nebraska's dunking on me with the videos. Tough trip.
Has Tang banned you from the locker room yet, or
What did he do?
has Jerome Tang banned you from all games yet?
No, he has not. He has not.
The regional.
He has not. He has not banned me. No, everybody keeps saying that. We won the Sweet 16 after the Kith video, which is the biggest game they had. So, like, shut up. Shut up.
The venue didn't change, though, so the aura in that locker room.
And, yeah, and the Elite Eight game, technically, I only went to shoot around because we were streaming. So.
But real healthy debate. Coming off a Sweet 16 run, let's take a look at they're like 90th in the net right now. They haven't even played a quad one game yet. I think it's a little bit of bad luck with Miami being a little down, Providence not being great. But like their schedule is pretty soft. All their wins are quad four wins.
I mean, you tell me. Listen,
it's a guy who likes scheduling the tough games.
Yeah.
They get fucking robbed by Nebraska in the second half.
But I mean, you also got to call it. You got to call it like it is. You got to act rational if you're a coach. He loses Johnson. He loses Noel. They didn't know they were going to lose Tomlin, but now he did lose Tomlin, so that's even more of a reason that's probably better for a little bit of an easier schedule. They also play in a gauntlet of a conference. No easy games in that conference, maybe 4 to 5, if that. So that Big 12, and what were their expectations getting into? It was probably just getting into the tournament, second round on paper before the season. So at that point, when you start scheduling brutally, I mean, Nebraska was no slouch. Yeah, granted it was at home, but Nebraska's a pretty easy game.
Nebraska stinks, though.
Nebraska doesn't
Not
stink.
stink.
They do not stink. They'll be right in the mix in the Big Ten. They'll be one of those teams right there. The kid Tominga can shoot. The other kid is going to be out for a couple weeks, but he can play. The kid 51.
Gary don't know ball.
Jawan Gary's from Alabama. Fred Hoiberg's a good coach. Listen, Nebraska's pretty good. Also, Providence in that tournament.
I got 2 picks for tonight.
Go ahead.
Hear your thoughts. Kind of a light slate, but 2 top 25.
Yeah, I'm not totally dialed into the gambling.
UVA at Memphis.
Yeah, I like Memphis. Memphis.
Is perfect. I love Virginia.
Okay.
Penny Hardaway will not know what to do against Tony.
It's a very good point. But I do think if they can.
And they're getting 3.5.
If they can dictate the tempo, Memphis has too many athletes.
And then the other one I like is Marquette -4.5 at PC. No students. Real first Big East game for Team English. I think Marquette flexes after a tough game the other day at home.
Yeah, I mean, Kolik's an animal too. So, yeah, I would lean Marquette as well. Thanks, Gary.
All right, Merry Christmas. Rico.
All right, perfect. All right, Dukes, let's go halftime now and then keep them loaded. You can keep taking them 10, 12 in the second half here.
All right, restaurant review time in Omaha for Alabama Creighton. Actually going to see the Creighton facility now, find people at Creighton, but it's Roll Tide Roll. That's why we're here. Everybody said, gotta go to the Drover, gotta go to the Drover, gotta go to the Drover. Wild kind of setup, nothing around it, very Midwest feel. Took a picture outside, I'm actually going to show that right now. Got roasted because it was blurry. What are you going to do? It's raining. Shut up, not a photographer. Anyway, in terms of the review, got the whiskey marinated or whiskey aged ribeye. I'm a big ribeye guy. I love it. Fries were very good. Lobster mac and cheese. Clam chowder. A tad watery. As you can see, they serve the best beverages in the country. High noon. Got the black cherry too, which is a rarity. Seems like people go pineapple. I love my black cherry. Steak was unbelievable. Big Midwest feels. Bartender's cool. In on sports. TV right there. I recommend sitting at the bar. Hostess nice. Awesome experience. Loved the Drover.
When I tell you, you've never been there, obviously, right?
No.
Okay. You too? No? When I say, like, this place kind of pops up out of the middle of nowhere, it's like a train track behind it. There's a field, like, out of nowhere. And real, like, old school setup. But nice people and a good meal.
Steak looked great.
It was. I was going in kind of like, the only small negative was the soup was a little watery, but we sat down at like 9 o'clock. so I can't really complain him. Bottom of the pot in that, but really, really good. Really, really good. Nice people, too.
Let me ask you something.
Real nice people out there.
In your time, as you know, we're all from New York. Diners are a big thing. Diners used to be 24 hours, right?
Yeah.
Recently, the ones around me have all started closing at 1, and I didn't realize that. I was driving home from the city late Saturday night, pulled up at 12:45. They're like, nope, no food.
I'll give you this, dude. I was a big time like bar egg back in the day. You always knew, all right, this place is open. There was one of the bagel places made its business after 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
Because kids would be coming back from a house party, whatever. Bagel Bistro, right around around the area. Guys would always come in. I remember one time my friends were all banged up. You meet them. You took a girl out for a date, and it's like, where are you gonna? All right, we'll go to Bagel Bistro and meet up with everybody. She tells her friends how the date went. You tell your boys. Like that was it. You go to Bagel Bistro. Then they started closing because they didn't want the drunk crowd. It's like, well, it's half your fucking business.
100%.
So last year I went out late and was walking home on Forest and was looking for a place. I'm like, one of these places is all going to be open. The 24/7 diner, done. Bagel, a big bagel place, done. Another bagel place, done. I had to walk like 6 blocks before I got to something that these places made a living on 24/7. I think the 24/7 model might be disappearing, unfortunately. I wonder if it's going to eventually come back as the bars swing, but I think COVID they looked at profit and loss, like, why are we staying open with all these hours? We're not making enough. I think people really started to crack down on profit and loss. So, we'll see. All right, Dukes, load them up.
Ken.
Hello?
Yeah.
All right. So, Rico, I got one question for you, buddy. Do you want to make a fuck ton of money?
Yeah, go ahead.
Look, I got a bet for you, okay?
All right.
I've been scoping this one out. So, what's one thing that the Sharps have no idea how to cap?
Lacrosse?
Mid-major basketball.
Oh, no, well, I have the lock on mid-major basketball. Northeastern's the lock. But it's not mid-major hoops. So what it is, it's these awards, Rico. Because here's the thing. These games are not won on the court. They're won with the votes. Healthy debate. There's no better bet on the board right now than Lamar Jackson plus 500 to win the MVP. I hammered it. I'm going to be rich. That's the bet, Rico. What do you think?
It makes you have to beat the 49ers.
But that's a lock.
What is the Ravens?
Who's betting on Brock Purdy?
Yeah, I guess if you think what's the Ravens' money line against the 49ers? I guess if you think the Ravens are going to win. And then who do the Ravens have the rest of the way?
Dolphins, Steelers.
Ravens have the
so Dolphins. He's got to beat the Dolphins too. If he beats,
Dolphins.
Well, you tell me. If he beats the 49ers and then lands on his face against the Dolphins, what do you think happens? Is he back out of the?
He'll still win.
He'll still win.
I think.
But Brock Purdy has a noodle arm. Who's going to vote on that?
I mean, you could say, like I don't think that the voters are like, what does Kenny Hammer from California think about Brock Purdy's noodle arm? They're going to be like, let's look at the stats and the fact that he has the best passer rating, the most yards per attempt. Like, they're going to look at all the stats and not give a shit what Kenny Hammer from California thinks.
Agreed.
Just because he has plus 500 on Lamar.
I'm not trying to move this line. I mean, if anything, I like the number I have already. But here's how you get inside the mind of a voter, right? I think they're kind of all jealous. These guys, they're ex-players, they're analysts. They can't play the game right now. So they look at one guy, Brock Purdy. He's got no arm, but he's making, actually not even that much money, but he's on the biggest stage. I think these guys are jealous. Why would you vote for this guy?
Because, like I said, he has like the highest passer rating, the highest QBR, the highest yards per attempt, the most yards, and like all that shit.
Listen, it's a good case. It's a good case, and he's got head-to-head. So if you think Lamar can do it, it's definitely out there. I think the 49ers right now are just crushing people.
Yeah.
So.
Is there no...
Drop him. Don't do the fucking up and down with this guy.
I'm not.
Can't play with him.
All right.
It's him. You're a dick.
No, I dropped him. Yeah, he's in. He's in.
He's in on it.
He's in on it.
I do like what he was saying, though. I do agree with him.
It's a good story. I think you have to tell yourself good stories if you're in on a bet. That's a good story to tell yourself.
I'm not going to tell him he's an idiot for that bet. Like, I think he's very smart and logical.
But him just being like, why would someone vote on Brock Purdy? Like, there's some substance to vote on Brock Purdy.
Yeah, but MVPs are usually won around this time of the year, where one bad week or one good week can really propel you.
I
Yeah.
agree. I agree. If the Lamar beats
Yeah,
the
100%.
49ers,
It's his to lose. And losing
jersey.
doesn't land on his face against the Dolphins. But yeah, I don't know if the Ravens will beat the Dolphins. I mean, the 49ers. That's where it's at. So give me the next one.
Curtis, Maryland.
Go ahead. How about the caller on radio?
You got me?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, boys. Big fan of you. Love the show. All right, Rico, even though your foot didn't go outside the circle on episode 1 of Sorry Barstool, it's a bullshit call.
Thank you,
All right,
yes.
You can't make that call there.
Agreed.
All right. Healthy debate, Rico. I've been listening to all your Christmas movie takes, and if it was said today, I might have missed it. You guys are missing a big one, though. I'll give you a hint. Ryan Reynolds, Amy Smart. Anything?
Yeah, once you say the title, I'm going to know.
Is that the one where he's fat and then he gets skinny and tries to find the girl?
Yes.
What's it called?
What's it called?
Just Friends.
Just Friends.
That's a Christmas movie?
Dude, takes place in Christmas, 100%.
Okay. Was Just Friends the one that basically... No. What's the one... Mila Kunis did
Friends with Benefits, and then there's another one that's like it was the same exact movie, came out the same year.
No Strings Attached.
It was No Strings Attached, Friends with Benefits, yeah.
Yeah.
It was like Justin Timberlake and Mila Kunis, and
Ashton Kutcher and somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'll have to check that out. I tried to watch Christmas with the
Check
Cranks.
out Just Friends.
I'll give a recommendation, movie recommendation. Watched it on the plane yesterday. Probably up Jet Ski's alley. Juice.
Hear it.
Oh, fire.
Never saw it before.
Really?
No.
Bishop.
A lot of friends in high school. Yes. So, all right, spoilers. The ending.
Yes.
I actually was readjusting my headphones the last thing. The guy says, "You got the juice now," right? Is that what he says to him?
I believe so.
All right. Do we think the point of that is you can't escape your surroundings? Or do we think Q kind of went crazy?
So I'm going to read up Wikipedia exactly what the idea is behind that. I think it means that he kind of went crazy because he kind of shakes his head in disgust after it's said. So he's Q says it, right?
Yeah. No. The guy, a random guy says it to Q and says, "You have the juice now."
I think that means like you're like the bad man, like the bad guy.
No, I know what that means. It means you have juice on the street. He
Yeah,
kept saying he's got more juice, but he didn't want any of that. He was the one trying to keep things level, and then he just kind of loses it.
I think it just kind of means by ipso facto, like he's top dog now.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it in a while. Like I don't.
No, but I guess I know why the guy says it. You have juice. I'm just wondering, does it mean he thinks he lost? Did he really lose his mind, or it's just kind of one of those he had to act on it because that guy would have killed him anyway. Tupac would have killed him anyway.
I think he had to kill Bishop.
Yeah. Interesting. Definitely a good movie. Like one of those that made sense. So, yeah, good. All right, Phil, give me the next one. What?
Wait, was that the guy?
Nah, just somebody in the chat.
What'd they say?
I don't know if it's problematic. Juice sounds like something else. And he said, that's not Christmas.
Hey, shout out my people.
Oh, yeah.
I'm Jewish.
Oh, okay, great.
Yeah.
So he said Jews is
Also
not
with the accent, I guess, too. Yeah, so that's a good line.
Hey, thank you.
Yeah, that's a good line. That's a good line.
Happy late
That's a good line. It's a good line.
Brian, you're on.
Brian,
can you hear me?
Yeah, now we can. Go ahead.
Hey, I saw you were in Castellani's Twitter Spaces last night. What were your thoughts on the Pistons blog?
To be honest with you, didn't read it. Jerry was like, "Hey, jump in. We'll tag team, whatever." I saw Russillo. I was a big fan of Russillo. Kind of looked like Russillo didn't really want to have anything to do with me. So I do like him. So I took a shot. Hey, we're always looking for guests. What better way than to ask the guy straight up. So no, I didn't read it. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. If you're a struggling franchise, from what I gather, it makes sense as a disgruntled fan to say sell the team. But to be honest with you, I was just kind of in there to take a shot with Russillo.
Gotcha.
But people are pissed. So I guess that's usually the case of a good blog, as Davis said. So, either piss people off. So not for the sake of, I do think he meant it, so it's authentic, not just like the Knicks should change their colors to purple and play in Connecticut.
Yeah.
Like that's, you're an asshole. So, yeah, be authentic. It is what it is. Phil, give me one more.
Mike from North Carolina.
What up, boys?
What's
what up,
up?
Rico?
What's going on?
Healthy debate, guys. NFL Christmas time has taken over. It's an NFL meta. It used to be me growing up. NBA Christmas Day was the Christmas event. But I think it's shifted over towards NFL now. NBA is just the fucking, as we know, load management central simulator. NFL, they're playing on every day of the week now, playing all over the freaking world. But I think I've just still heard that NBA took away the Christmas uniforms when Nike took over.
Oh, I didn't even realize that. Yeah, there should be Christmas special uniform. Especially the NBA is nothing more the NBA loves.
They always do Christmas shoes.
There's nothing more the NBA loves than selling jerseys.
Yeah.
Oh,
and kids buy jerseys. I couldn't even tell you some of the teams sometimes on the court.
Oh, yeah. Like, why
There's so many jerseys. You go to a high school game, you go to a college game, kids are wearing a Luka jersey. You're like, what the fuck is that? They have no idea what they're from. You would think they want to do that.
Nike,
yes.
Exactly. You think they want to maximize all these profits and make every single special limited
Agreed.
edition jersey. We're out here throwing Play-Doh colored, city unis.
Yep.
Give me my limited edition Miami Heat Christmas edition that I will buy and I will keep.
Yep.
I don't understand what we're doing here. Adidas, they were the ones making it, and then once Nike took over, they stopped doing it. But and fun fact, the jerseys were 26% lighter. You got guys 2 extra inches on their vertical. Those dunks are a bit more explosive. You know what I'm saying? So now it's like NFL, give me Dolphins versus Cowboys on Christmas Eve. We're going to wax those motherfuckers, the Cowgirls. But yeah, NFL owns
so
Adam Silver.
I've paid attention to how scheduling works and different stuff like that. I say this all the time. In like 2002, maybe in high school or something like that, you would get the Jets-Giants schedule from Raftery Law Firm. Yeah. And they would do the thing. Call us if you need it, and they'd put the Jet schedule. Because the only way, if somebody hands you a business card, see ya. Somebody hands you whatever, a pen, you lose it, whatever. People who are sports fans, they're going to put that on their fridge, and it's going to stay there, and you got visibility. And you're going to look at that schedule.
Exactly.
I remember looking at those schedules, or sometimes they would do this is a better example. They would do the Sunday night games, all the Sunday night primetime games. They would do that. And I looked at that, and I go, why in week 6, let's say, or 8, why is there no Sunday night game in case of the World Series?
Right.
They used to bend the knee for baseball. After a while, they decided, why are we doing this? You bend the knee for us. Yeah. Now they're going to the NBA. We used to bend the knee for you. No, you bend the knee for us. What I wonder, because Saturday night is a shit night, and they do have to work side by side, I'm wondering if ever on Saturdays they could just go to the NFL and be like, and they also took Thursdays from college. There were no game, they said bend the knee on that. There used to be big time games on college, or college, that was a way to showcase. Now everybody watches, the college games are an afterthought. I'm wondering now if they go to a Saturday night showcase type game while college is still going on. I don't think it's beneficial. They've got everything. Now they take Christmas. They got everything. So I'm wondering
they got everything.
I don't think there's any more land to conquer, but if there is, they will.
I think a regularly scheduled Saturday NFL game would.
I like them in this. I like them now.
I like it now, but I don't.
After Christmas, I think they're working with college. So.
I agree. It's just NBA now. It's so, I don't know. It lost its fire. And maybe it's just as a Miami fan, I'm just enjoying the Fin season that much more compared to the Miami Heat. But
you know what I would like to see?
I did call like 5 weeks ago, and I hope you put in your Super Bowl future. I hope you put in that Miami future when I called 5 weeks ago. But
we'll see.
It's still for grabs, Rico.
It is. AFC's wide open. You might not win that division, which is crazy too. So we'll see. That
is crazy to think about, but I'm hoping the public and everyone's still calling us frauds and whatnot, and sucking Lamar's. It's like guys, AFC is completely up for grabs.
It is. AFC's up for grabs. I don't think the NFC is up for grabs. So. That makes the AFC very, very interesting. You got teams who are pesky now. The Browns, the Bengals. It's going to be an interesting playoff in the AFC. I hope the AFC gets the better times. I don't want the AFC game during the day. I think we got a lot of pesky teams in the AFC.
Oh, wow. Shout out Chris DeSanti. He said the Sports Broadcasting Act of 1961 says NFL can't go on the same days as NCAA football.
Oh, no, and that's why the Jets Black Friday game's at 3 p.m. this year, because they couldn't schedule it for a later day because there were college games.
Got it. later in the day.
Yeah.
Well, it can't. Well, is it,
Well, there were games.
Isn't that same
in
day?
fairness,
Or is it,
there were
is it-
games all day Friday.
So maybe maybe it's been like abbreviated to now it can't be like games at the same time. I imagine. I don't know. That's interesting law though.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get your futures in.
That's a good one. I like it. Yeah, it's better than my. I'm gonna
choking
need one more because my Saints
until
future is
December 2nd,
dead.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, until December 2nd. Yeah. All right, let's go fourth quarter, Phil. How many you got?
I got one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right, perfect. Give me the one in the fourth quarter.
Before we start, I just want to say I was watching an NBA game last night. I thought to myself, there was a time where when you grab an offensive rebound, the shot clock would reset back to 24. Like, it's kind of wild to think about how teams could just, by just getting offensive rebounds.
Way back then, yes, that was a rule. So they did it in college. It's fairly recent. From doing the clock, I know it's the offensive 20, and now it's 14 in the NBA. Makes sense when you think about it, because a 48-second possession is not what they want.
Yeah.
A 38-second possession is still pretty long.
Yeah.
To a degree.
But like for a while, a team could have a possession for like 90 seconds and just like bleed the clock, and it's like, oh, maybe this is why scoring is up a bit more.
Yeah,
over
but
the
getting
years.
offensive rebounds that's difficult as well. But it's more so in college. You imagine a reset in 30, you're taking a full minute off the clock.
Yeah.
You know, so that's where it's worse. I think college was more needed to do that. In the NBA, they're still moving and running and gunning. So, all right, give me one more.
Fitz from Cincy.
Yo, what up, Rico? Can
What's
you hear
up?
me?
Yep.
All right, cool. Sorry about that delay earlier. I had no
it's
idea
all right.
what was going on. Okay, so I got two things. So the first one's really quick. If you're looking for a good Christmas movie, I like Christmas with the Cranks, but you should try Fred Claus with Vince Vaughn.
Seen pieces. Yeah, I'm gonna check it out.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, it's definitely a good watch. I still laugh at some parts. But the other thing that I wanted to get to was I am going to put my left hand up and say I was possibly wrong about the Bengals being cursed by that misspelling. Jake Browning's a good quarterback, and healthy debate. He's going to win one playoff game, and we're going to trade him for a first-round pick and get someone good. I haven't figured out much more from that, but I think that's a good theory to start out with. Shout out Big Al and Ben in the chat, Who Dey fans.
Oh,
So,
okay. Yeah, we don't like
what
big.
do you think?
We don't like a lot of big L's, but what?
You said you don't like a lot of Big Al's.
Big Al, you familiar with who Big Al is?
I know a different Big Al. It's more recent than the one you're thinking of.
Which one are you thinking of?
Alex Earl?
No.
That's her name?
That's not Big Al.
That's
No.
her nickname.
Is it?
Yeah, on TikTok.
Oh, no, we like that Big Al. But no, Big Al, the Little League kid who didn't play in the Little League World Series.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we
so
hate
my mind
that
went
guy.
somewhere else.
Yeah, well, of course it did, Phil. I mean, that's not groundbreaking news. We love you, though, Phil. We love you. Phil's mom. Shout out Phil's mom, by the way.
Shout out Phil's
Yeah,
mom.
very nice card with a tie, phone number in there. I had to, cross that off, but very, very nice, Phil.
Yep.
Say call at home to keep track of Phil. Touch in, say hello. Very, very nice. So thank you. All right, anybody calling in? We got a debate going on in the chat. Are they lighting up, Phil? You want to do one more?
We got no callers in right now. Is there anything in the chat?
No, they just said, what the fuck, Meek?
What the?
All right, give me the 2-minute drill.
Okay, some of these are more holiday themed than
Awesome.
normal. Okay, best animated Christmas movie.
Oh, jeez. Nah, yeah, I mean, I've seen 8 Crazy Nights. I'm still probably going to go Santa Claus is Coming to Town, even though it's claymation.
I think that counts as animated. What's the best gift you've ever given someone?
Gave my wife a lot of good things. Gave my dad some cool mess. I'm pretty good with gifts. I mean, I guess you'd have to lay it out specifically, but each year people have always been like, "Oh, that's really nice." So you get somebody in the family now. Kris Kringle, I always end up doing something nice with that too. Pretty good gift giver. But I think I'll give you this one. Very simple. I gave my wife a calendar for Christmas, among some other things. A calendar, and then in the month we were going away, which is in February, had the brochure for the resort. So flip the calendar and then look at that. So
Have you ever done a vacation Christmas or Christmas away from home? And if
not
so,
not on Christmas Day. I think you got to be home for Christmas. I would love it. Don't
I've
get
been
me wrong.
recently doing it. This year we're not, but for the past 3 years before this, we've always been in Puerto Rico for Christmas. No Christmas gifts, the family didn't
Oh,
do gifts.
really?
But we did a trip to Puerto Rico, and that was actually
And then
kinda
Christmas
cool.
Day, you wake up and
Go to
you're
the beach.
Okay. Isn't there a little you kind of miss?
A little bit, but it was a nice switch up, honestly, and not having like the big hullabaloo to like have family come over, get the house ready was kind of nice.
Yeah.
We're back to the normal thing.
Are
this year,
people?
so.
Are those places packed?
We go to like a small little surf town called Rincon, so it's
Okay.
not like a
Not an all-inclusive.
not an all-inclusive.
Okay.
Just rent the house on the beach in a little gringo town.
Okay.
But I'm a fan of it. What is your least favorite holiday side dish? What was a Christmas side dish? Or just part of the Christmas dinner?
Pen just dropped. I don't know. Anytime somebody tries to do ham on Christmas Day, you go to somebody else's house and grandma, we got a big ham. We got a no, out on ham. Completely out on ham.
I know that was the last one, but I was waiting to get to this one.
Sure.
If you had to pick one, non-Christmas related, but if you had to pick one instrument to be able to play from when you were younger till now, what would you have picked?
Piano.
Piano.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
It's not the most glamorous. Like drums, you probably look cooler. Guitar, you look cooler. But there is something to like.
If you walk into an empty hotel lobby and there's a piano, you
just
can go
start banging out.
bust
I
it
also
out.
don't want to learn. I don't want to learn fucking hot cross buns. I want to be able to like read music and be able to play it that way, and then have you because nowadays, I mean, we didn't probably know this in the 80s and 90s, but you can pull up sheet music and you can just bang out what you want.
Yeah.
So like, how cool would it be to just sit and play Santa Claus is Coming to Town? You know, like.
I also think it's just
fuck around, play it like.
A great like contrast. We're all a little bit on the dirtbag side, and you just walk in on it with a date, and you see a piano, and you just bust out like Beethoven's 10th Symphony.
Yeah,
Just like, what the
that too. Especially if you could sing a little bit, you know. Like, how cool is the scene in The Founder?
I've never seen it.
You've never seen The Founder?
No.
Good movie. It's
Maybe
about the founder of McDonald's. Kind of as a scumbag, but
he plays the piano.
Plays the piano in it. Have you seen it, Jason?
I've seen.
When he plays Pennies from Heaven.
I've been watching it on TikTok. I haven't gotten to that scene yet.
You have been watching on TikTok?
Yeah.
You could probably find the whole thing on TikTok.
That's an
Although, I mean, just you don't want a small screen. Just watch the whole thing.
the underappreciated like TikTok movie accounts are fantastic. And it's like an hour and a half movies, like 25 minutes of TikToks. I love it. They cut out the
They
fluff.
take all that time just to post an entire
No,
movie
I
in
think
like
yeah,
60 clips.
It's crazy. And then you click and you're like, show me next, and it's just buried. And you're like, what the fuck? So, whatever. All right, we'll be back tomorrow with Will, unless he blows us off. I'm working on another guest. We'll get some info for that tonight, some college hoop specific type things. Be in the building tomorrow, Duke Baylor. Excited for that one. I think like 4 or 5 years ago was when I saw Zion, Texas Tech, and walked out going, Texas Tech is the team here. So excited for that. Like and subscribe, check in, give us whatever you got, and we will see you tomorrow. Everybody loves a healthy debate.